Vietnamese people, with their diligent hands and thousands of years of farming experience, have brought traditional rice seeds across the ocean to Angola, a distant country in Africa. This is not just a story about grains of rice, but also a tale of humanity, perseverance, and the blending of two cultures. Imagine the vast lands of Angola, where arid grasslands stretch under the tropical sun. There, Vietnamese farmers, familiar with shimmering watery fields and the curved silhouettes of conical hats, stepped onto a completely foreign land, carrying an unshakable belief: rice would grow, and lives would change. At first, the hard, dry soil seemed to reject all efforts. But they did not give up. They dug canals, diverted water from rivers to the fields, and meticulously rehabilitated every inch of land to transform barren landscapes into lush green fields. The best rice varieties were planted, with each stalk of rice representing the essence of their labor, sweat, and simple dreams. Not only did they sow rice, but they also sowed knowledge. Standing alongside the Angolan people, they patiently taught them how to plant, care for, and harvest. Gradually, the rice fields began to ripen, and with them came smiles on the faces of Angolan farmers as they saw that the land had yielded its sweet fruits. This story extends beyond rice cultivation to become a symbol of connection and friendship. Through calloused hands and beads of sweat, the Vietnamese people planted not only rice but also hope, opening a new chapter for this distant land. It is not merely a story of agriculture, but one of determination and compassion. In a place where everything initially seemed harsh, the Vietnamese have shown that with perseverance and creativity, a lush field can rise in the desert, and dreams can be nurtured to bloom. Imagine a sun-drenched African land, where amidst the lush green rice fields, laughter and hope echo every day. This is where the Africa team of Quang Linh Vlogs is tirelessly writing a beautiful story of humanity and sharing. In that team, Quang Linh is the leader with a compassionate heart. He always appears with a bright smile, ready to dive into any task, from guiding rice cultivation and building homes to acting as a bridge between the Vietnamese and Angolan people. Quang Linh not only brings knowledge, but also a deep love for this land. By his side is Lindo, a humorous and down-to-earth young man from Angola. Lindo brings infectious laughter with his lively personality and local stories. But more than that, Lindo is an inspiration, showing his dedication and love for his homeland, accompanying the team in every meaningful project. And we cannot forget Dong Paulo, a diligent and skillful member. He is the embodiment of perseverance, always appearing with calloused hands and eyes sparkling with faith. Paulo is not just a reliable companion, but also a role model of creativity and work. Along with them, other local members contribute to the strength of Team Africa. They are individuals ready to learn, share, and together transform seemingly impossible ideas into reality. The images of them sowing rice in the fields, sharing simple meals, or laughing with children under the sun are not just everyday moments, but vivid proof of love transcending all borders. The Africa team of Quang Linh Vlogs is not just working, they're sowing the seeds of the future, seeds of faith, hope, and a better life on the sun-baked land of Angola. The journey of knowledge transfer. When Vietnamese agricultural experts set foot in Angola, they brought with them not only high-quality rice seeds, but also their passion, knowledge, and love for this land. The people of Angola, for the first time, stood in silence as they watched the Vietnamese cultivate the soil, apply fertilizer, and plant each young rice seedling. Every movement was meticulous and precise, as if the farmers' hands were conversing with the land, listening to the whispers of the refreshing water droplets. The Vietnamese did not simply do the work for them. They taught. And this special classroom had no blackboard or white chalk. It took place right on the dry fields. One by one, Angolan farmers picked up the seedlings, learning how to place them in the soil in perfectly straight rows, ensuring each seedling's roots took hold firmly. Under the blazing sun, these lessons became a fusion of two cultures. Vietnamese instructions mixed with local dialects, and hearty laughter echoed whenever someone made a mistake and corrected it. This created a vibrant picture in the fields. Language and cultural barriers seemed to dissolve, leaving only a shared spirit and a mutual desire to create something extraordinary together. This journey was not only about transferring techniques, it also sowed in the hearts of the Angolan people a sense of belief and pride that with their own hands, they could make the land fertile, yielding abundant harvests and a prosperous life. Adapting to new challenges. Angola is a land of raw beauty, but hidden behind that is the great challenge it presents to agriculture. The land here, although fertile, faces the harsh tropical sun and the persistent drought, posing a severe test for those who wish to cultivate it. The irrigation system, essential for nurturing rice paddies, is almost non-existent. The Vietnamese, who are familiar with the sight of flooded rice fields back home, now face a completely different reality: how to bring water to where it's needed most. Step by step, they began to dig small canals with their calloused hands. Water from distant rivers was brought to the fields, flowing through newly created channels. But the water didn't come naturally. They had to install pumps and operate them in conditions where equipment was scarce. Each hum of the pump was not just the sound of machinery, but the heartbeat of hope, a testament to perseverance and creativity. The challenge didn't stop at water. Angola's climate, with its scorching heat waves and sudden rain showers, made choosing the right rice varieties a tough problem. The Vietnamese didn't just look for drought-resistant rice. They had to experiment and research to ensure that the crops could adapt to the local soil and climate. Each carefully selected seed carried not only the promise of a harvest, but also the hope and belief that one day, this land would be filled with golden rice fields. The challenges piled up, but no one was discouraged. They knew that each canal dug, each seed planted, was not just part of the work, but a promise to the local people that this land, no matter how harsh, could bloom with enough love and perseverance. Golden fields and the dream of change. As time passed, the barren fields, parched under the scorching sun of Angola, began to revive. It was as though the land had been awakened by the diligent hands and passionate hearts of the farmers, with lush green rice fields stretching from one horizon to the next. The fields were no longer barren. They had transformed into a beautiful green carpet, soaked with life and hope. The warm sunlight bathed the fields, caressing each rice stalk, and even the gentle breeze carried the fragrance of the rice fields, soft yet steadfast, just like the Angolan farmers. The fields had undergone a miraculous transformation, becoming a symbol of change. Farmers who once took hesitant first steps now confidently walked across the fertile land. They now tended to each rice plant as an inseparable part of their lives. Their hands, once familiar with hoes and shovels, had become skilled and adept at planting, fertilizing, and caring for the rice, turning the land from a challenge into a companion on their journey to progress. And then, harvest season arrived. The scent of fresh rice filled the air, and laughter echoed across the fields. Bags of rice, heavy with the fruits of their labor, were harvested, dried, and carefully stored. For the people of Angola, each sack of rice was not just a product of hard work, but a burst of joy, a symbol of the first time they had enough food to feed their families, to share with friends and neighbors. Their eyes shone with pride, and as they sat together around the dinner table, it was not only the simple joy of sharing a meal, but also a belief in a brighter future where they no longer had to worry about food. But the story didn't end there. The first grains of rice, the result of perseverance and creativity, not only brought in a bountiful harvest, but also strengthened the bond between Vietnam and Angola. The people of Angola were not only grateful for the techniques the Vietnamese had shared, but they also felt the warmth and sincerity of their Vietnamese friends. Each grain of rice was not just a gift of labor, but a seed of friendship, trust, and hope for a promising future. The dream of transforming a barren land into a sea of green had come true. Not only for the people of Angola, but for anyone who believes in the power of unity, sharing, and love among nations. Every rice field, every seed sown, was no longer just work. It was the story of a dream that had been ignited, promising a brighter tomorrow where everyone could build a full and vibrant life together. The profound meaning. The story of the rice fields in Angola is not just an ordinary tale of farming. It is a meaningful story about perseverance, sharing hearts, and the desire to change lives. When the small seeds were sown in the barren land, it was not just the first sprouts of plants that emerged, but the hope that had been entrusted. These grains of rice carried a profound message that no matter where you are in the world, no matter how dry the land may be, with determination, love, and resilience, even the most hopeless land can transform into a golden field, full of life. In the quiet of Angola's evenings, when the sun begins to set behind the ripening rice fields, one can clearly feel that this story is not only about the Vietnamese farmers, but is a shared story for all who dare to dream and act to turn that dream into reality. The rice fields are now not just places that feed families, but are living proof of the power of tireless effort, of boundless sharing, and of belief in a brighter future. Under the sunset, as the gentle breeze sweeps over the golden rice stalks, the people here know they have accomplished the impossible. And this story will forever be a light for those who are still dreaming of a better tomorrow, where all dreams can come true, as long as there is love and determination. When Vietnamese youth succeed in growing rice in Angola and Africa. When young Vietnamese people succeeded in growing rice in Angola and Africa, their story attracted significant attention worldwide. This is not just a creative journey in agriculture, but also a vivid testament to the power of unity, perseverance, and love between nations. The story delivers a powerful message about the ability to change the world and a belief in a brighter future when people collaborate to overcome challenges that seem insurmountable. Recognition and admiration. Agricultural experts and international organizations have showered praise on these achievements. The Vietnamese youth's introduction of advanced rice cultivation techniques suited to the harsh climate and land conditions of Africa not only increased yields but also created sustainable economic opportunities for the local people. This success is not only a step forward in improving livelihoods, but also an exemplary case of agricultural technology transfer and sustainable development. Countries from Africa to Asia now view Vietnam as a model of creativity and the ability to turn ideas into practical action. Adaptability and creativity. This is also a story about exceptional adaptability and creativity. The challenges of climate, soil conditions, and the lack of irrigation infrastructure initially did not discourage the Vietnamese youth. Rather than giving up, they found creative solutions, such as building small-scale irrigation systems, selecting drought-resistant rice varieties, and teaching local people sustainable farming techniques. As a result, they transformed agricultural practices in Africa, bringing hope to a new generation of farmers and improving community livelihoods. Exploring international spirit and global cooperation. This success also clearly demonstrates the spirit of internationalism and global cooperation. The Vietnamese youth did not stop at helping one country. They opened the door to wider collaboration, not only in Angola, but also inspiring African nations and the world. They proved that no matter where you come from, with sincerity and determination, every individual can contribute to building a better future for all of humanity. Building trust in the future. The success story of these Vietnamese youth is meaningful not only for Angola and Vietnam, but for the whole world. It shows that despite geographical, climate, or cultural challenges, people can change their destinies and build the future with perseverance, creativity, and cooperation. These young people have become symbols of hope, vivid proof that a new generation can bring about significant changes for the planet. Positive impact on the international community. This success has sparked a new wave of interest in food security and sustainable agricultural development in Africa. International organizations, from the World Bank to NGOs, have praised the role of these projects in reducing poverty, improving living standards, and increasing the value of agricultural products in developing countries. Additionally, this story reminds us of the importance of applying science and technology to solve humanity's big problems, from food crises to climate change. In conclusion, the story of young Vietnamese people successfully growing rice in Angola and Africa is not only a technical victory, but also a testament to the power of creativity, the spirit of international cooperation, and perseverance. It is a valuable lesson for all of us about daring to dream, daring to act, and daring to change the world for a brighter future for everyone. If you've watched the video up to this point and felt the greatness, resilience, and strong will of the young members in Quang Linh Vlog's Africa team, don't forget to continue supporting them. They truly deserve all the love and encouragement from us. And remember, don't miss any future videos. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to follow more inspiring stories from the Africa team. Thank you so much for watching and supporting, and we'll see you in the upcoming videos.